All right, I'm here with David Lang. David, you've been here now at Dell for about 6 months. What do you do?
I'm the program manager for federal security here at Dell, which means I am in charge of the team that supports the security requirements for all of our business that faces the federal government.
And now, recently, I got to know you because of the announcement with the CSA. Can you tell us what the CSA is and what that announcement is?
Sure. The CSA is a Cloud Security Alliance. And the Cloud Security Alliance is about a year old. It started in about December of 2008. And what it is a group of industry and think tank people that are looking at the issues of how we secure the cloud for industry and government, and what are the best practices, and basically trying to write the book on how to deal with security in the cloud.
So Dell is now a member, and what does that mean? How will we participate there?
Well, there are a number of things that are going on in the different subgroups in the CSA, one of which is the security guidance that is now in version 2.0, just came out in October, that is work in progress of a lot of people looking at how we do security in the cloud and those kind of things. So that's where I tend to work, because I'm not an IT security guy. I'm a global security guy with an IT background. So I'm hoping that as other people become aware of our participation, that we'll get some more people that are interested in working in different subgroups in CSA, and that we can just work with other people in the industry to make it better, make it work.
So is there a particular subgroup that you have your eye on?
Well, right now just the security architecture folks.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not on any particular subgroup. I've been to some of the meetings. I've worked with subgroups in other organizations such as the American Society of Industrial Security, Information Technology Group. We're doing a cloud paper. I worked with ISACA, which is an audit and compliance group on clouds. So the security is kind of my area. That's my background.
And speaking of background, it's kind of an interesting background. Can you just give us a little snippet of it?
Well, I'm one of those guys that's had a hard time keeping a job, but I spent a number of years as a special agent with the Air Force Office of Special Investigations, doing general investigations, and I worked into computer investigations and ultimately into doing espionage investigations. So I've had a lot of dealings with the Department of Defense and the U.S. government as far as their information systems and security of, technically secured information. So anything that's on a system, on removable media, things like that. So that kind of led me into the cloud thing when a government customer started saying, hey, we're looking at putting a lot more information out in the cloud rather than secured behind the four walls. And it just was a natural thing to kind of work in that, say, well, I have some background in that, let's see what we can do to help out.
And so speaking of which, when you start talking about cloud security, if someone comes up, because the number one concern right now about cloud computing, rightfully or wrongfully, is security. How do you address that if somebody talks about it? What's your way of looking at it?
Well, the first thing is usually, as we do anything in security, people say, I want to secure this. You say, okay, what are you securing it against and what are you trying to secure? So we need to look at the type of information that they're wanting to secure. How much security does it need? Does it have to be as airtight as possible, or is it just secure from the casual observer? And then typically in the case of cloud, you have to educate people on the different kinds of cloud, because you have a public cloud, you have private cloud, you have hybrid clouds, you have different kinds of implementation of cloud, the different levels of infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So you've got to really look at what they're trying to do with it, where they're trying to do it, and then we can look at solutions. As an example, in the federal space, we have federal customers, mostly they're looking at private clouds. So they're looking at a place where a trusted provider owns the hardware. It's probably in a secured facility under the customer's control, things like that. That's a little easier than trying to secure things in a public cloud, which is one of the main security challenges right now, is balancing the availability with the security, with the cost, and getting all those things right for what you're trying to do.
So obviously, as you're saying, the majority is private cloud in the federal space. Is there anything that they're looking to for public cloud, and what might that be?
Well, there are some agencies in the government that actually have a public-facing presence where they want the public to be able to come in and interact. There are agencies such as Homeland Security, other places where they actually want to have a lot of information available to the public. They want the public to be able to interact, to send reports, to make comments, to blog, to get involved with the government. The White House is another one that has really a lot of outreach to the public, where it would probably work if they were to do a public cloud, because the security isn't the issue, it's the availability and the cost. It's just cost-effective in many cases to do it in the cloud rather than in a dedicated IT system.
But when it comes to the crown jewels,
Yeah, when it comes to the crown jewels, definitely private cloud, and depending on how secure you really need it, you may not want to use the cloud solution. I mean, cloud isn't for everything.
excellent. David Lang, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.